Okay then, you are in for a real treat now. This is Desert Truck. It's a trucking simulator. You have steering controls, which is tilt control, and you have an accelerator, which is press the screen, the touch screen, anywhere on the right, and the brakes are touch the screen anywhere on the left, and that is it. And this game, it is misunderstood, I feel. I looked at the comments on the page where I downloaded it from, and there were people saying, why would anyone buy this? Why would anyone play this? It's a dead straight road, nothing happens. Well, they're missing the point. This is simulating the monotony of truck driving in the USA. I don't drive a truck in the USA, but I do understand what it is to drive a truck long distances. My dad's a truck driver. Now, I travelled in his truck. He didn't do well, he did do long distance eventually. He actually managed to get his articulated lorry stuck whilst trying to get it onto the Channel Tunnel. I don't know how he managed that, but anyway. I do understand long distance driving of any kind is utterly monotonous, and this is simulating that. And basically you sit here and you drive your truck, and that's it. It doesn't even matter where you're going. There's a CB radio in here, which is great. Let's turn it on. I don't know if you can hear that. I used to use CB radio. I was on the CB from 1983 up until about 2000, and there would always be some dick on the braking channel, which could have been either the 1.4 or the 1.9. By the time I went off, it was only the 1.9. And they would just be blocking everyone else out, either playing some music or singing a song, or whoops, I'm losing control here. You got to have both hands on the pad, or the wheel, so to speak. You do it one-handed and you just tilt it without even planning to, and hey presto, you're off the road, and you can get a puncture, and that's it, game over. This is interesting. There appears to be rain on the windscreen. I'm pretty sure that's not my TV screen that's all grubby. Another interesting thing is can you see down there by the gauges? It says 1:43. That is the real time. It is 1:43 as I record this. Now, I was playing this last night at about 2 AM and it was dark, and I think that's great. You know, it detects the time, and whatever the time is in the real world, that's when you're driving it. It's cool. Oh, and I've just noticed that CB is a Uniden. How cool is that? Or if it's not a Uniden, it's pretending to be one. Oh, no, it's calling it an Oniden. I had a Uniden. I had the Uniden Uniace. Was it the 200? It was the home base. It was the big bastard home base that was absolutely fantastic. It had the clearest, most utterly awesome audio quality of any CB radio that I ever came across. And I stuck a really good spring echo chamber on that with a good bass mic, and I had possibly the best audio quality in Milton Keynes for a while, or one of anyway. Yeah, this will be a Uniace 100 or something on here. I'm digging that funny little figure on the left as well, and you can oops, that's me trying to tap the screen and waggle it about and stuff. Yeah, I've got one of those little Magic Tree air fresheners in my car, but this one is that one there is pine. The one in my car is lavender. I didn't choose it, I was given it, so I thought, yeah, what the heck. Now, I don't know if that's what my car smells of or not. I think my car smells of car, but I really like the smell in my car. If you've ever been in like an old, basic, primitive Fiat where the interior is half bare metal, well, it's painted metalwork actually, they got a unique smell. My dad's old Fiat 127 back in the 80s smelled exactly the same, and that's probably partly why I like the thing so much. So, here we are. God. I like the signs. They can be distracting because you can find yourself looking at them and not looking at where you're going and end up driving off the road. You can drive off the road, but like I said, you don't get very far. Oops, you get a puncture and then it's game over. I am finding that I have a developing taste as far as Android games are concerned. When I started off with this channel and doing games on this Android pad, I had actually not much intention of playing games on the pad. I didn't think it would really be up to it. But when I started doing games, I thought, okay, I played Shadowgun, and that was the kind of thing I was looking for and expecting to play. Console type games on a pad. That's what I was planning on, to demonstrate that they were an alternative to your expensive consoles with their rip-off prices. I love this advert, that's just weird. I can't quite read what it says. What I'm finding though is that I like the more odd stuff. You wouldn't get a game, you would probably get a thing like this on the PC. And I don't know, I mean, I don't have an Xbox 360. But I mean, would you find something like this on the PlayStation Store? Like, they don't, I mean, there are little indie programmers and whatnot doing stuff, but would they do something like this? Would it pass quality control and all of that lot? I don't think so. But I love that. I paid for this because it's so silly. It is really, really silly. I mean, what you're seeing now, this is it. The light will change with the time of day, but this is it. And I don't know how long I can go on for. But I love it because it's stupid. And I'm liking that. The games that I'm finding I'm playing are bizarre simulators, you know, tractors, cranes, forklift trucks, all of that kind of thing. Lorries, driving them, parking them, crashing them, whatever. I had to go on a tractor driving simulator last night, and it was great. It was free, and I thought I'll have some of that, and I was having a little play, getting ready to record a video, and then it ran out of fuel, and to add more fuel you had to pay real money. Well, I wasn't having that. I'm about to lose control as I rub my eye. Yeah, that was it. Instant delete. I will not have that kind of bullshit in a freemium game. You know, fine if they want to ask you to pay money to get extra goodies in the game or progress more quickly, fine, but cripple the game and then ask you to pay to continue to play, that they can piss off. So that one went out the window, which is a shame because I wanted to drive that tractor. I was having fun moving bales of hay around the farm and stuff. It was fun. I've got another lorry driving game, which I will do a video of that soon. I just thought this one, actually, I wanted to play this one more. There's significantly less to it. But I love it. I paid 67 pence? Something like that. It was 60 something pence. As a rule, I try not to pay money for games on Android at all, but I knew what this game was about already, and I love the concept. And yeah, I was very happy to pay 67 pence for this. Call me mad. It just seems... It's pure genius. It really is. I could... It's the kind of game if I was, I don't know, passenger in a car going somewhere a long way, or on a train or on a bus or something, a lot of times sitting, travelling, I would play this, which is crazy. It makes no sense. It's like the bleeding Chewbacca argument. It makes no sense. But what's that? The Chewbacca defense, isn't it? Yes, that's South Park. Whatever. Yeah. God, that guy on CB. I wonder if he ever loses his voice. You know what? Hang on. I've got to do this. Yeah. That wasn't in the game. Green King IPA. In this room there are 10, 20, 30, 40, about 45 cans of this. Am I an alcoholic? No. Andrea got an absolutely awesome deal from some online thingamajig. Just massively cheap deal on beer and wine and stuff, and that was like before Christmas. And yeah, so I'm slowly working my way through them. I don't drink a lot, so you know, it's they're gonna last all year. No shortage. No, you know, it's great. If I want a beer, I've got beer. I don't very often drink, but when I do, it's nice to know there's some there all year. Here we are, driving along again. Let's you know. Oops. I'm poking the thing again. I'm poking the little figure on the left. But all it's doing is making me, well, not look where I'm going. Oh, I see. Of course, the little figure on the left is on the left. And guess what else is on the left? The brakes. Yep. Come on, go faster. This is... What are we doing with... Is that miles per hour or kilometers per hour there on the left? I don't know. And what are these speed limits there? Get noticed, advertise, something. Okay. Are these, is it 65 mph or kph? It just doesn't say. I mean, that would be pretty mean to limit the speed to 65 kph in the desert. It must be tragic just having to stick to 65 mph in the desert, but I guess on a road like this, I like the tumbleweeds tumbling along. They're a nice little addition. I think that score down the bottom there, that's how many miles I've gone. 24 miles so far. I don't know what the record is. That I'm aware of, there are 2 other videos on YouTube where people have played this, and one was for 6 minutes and another one was probably about 3 minutes, and certainly the one who played for 3 minutes said it was tedious and boring and pointless and crap. In the description, they didn't. Neither of these players spoke, and I think that's a damn shame. So I am speaking all over it, and if all you want to do is watch the game and not hear me speak, well, turn your volume down, because I like to speak, because that's what I do. That's a good sign. Oops. There I am, looking at the sign, not looking where I'm going. And that I am sure is what it's like in the real world when you're driving a truck down an endless, monotonous road through the desert, especially if you're drinking beer at the time. I have put my beer down, and I'm now going to have a problem picking it up again without crashing. Let's see. Hand off accelerator. Oh dear. Oh God. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. Don't drink and drive, especially not at exactly the same time. Drinking your beer while driving your big lorry is bad. Okay. It's a lot better playing it on the big screen like this than on the little Android pad screen. I've got a 7-inch pad. Yeah, a lot of the games I play, when I've got them, I'm videoing the TV screen, but I'm actually watching the game on the pad, because you just kind of have to, because you've got to put your fingers in the right place. That sounds wrong. But here with this, with tilt control steering, accelerate on the right, brake on the left, it's better watching the big screen. And that's what I had always planned to do with most of these games. I just found it impractical on a lot of them. But with this, yeah. Watch on the big screen. It's great. I wish this thing would go faster. I suppose some other traffic on the road would be nice, and that was one of the complaints of the people, like on the comments section where you download the game. One of the comments was, for God's sake, upgrade it, add some other traffic, add some towns for you to drive through, anything. Some other traffic would be alright, though it would add the potential for crashes, and I think that then would it would take away from the pointless monotony, and that, I think, is what the programmer is trying to express when making this game. It is the pure tedium of driving long distance through the desert. You're not going to come across any other drivers. You're just going to go crazy. Where is it where he says, go crazy? Don't mind if I do. Is that The Simpsons? Yes. No beer and no TV make Homer something something. 28 miles. Is that 28 or 29? I've got a handheld CB radio. And there is a there is logic to that statement. There is a train of thought there. I've got a handheld CB radio. I think it's in the boot of my car now. I could be wrong. I think that's where I put it. And it's got an LED channel readout. It's an old 40 channel jobby. It's the 40 channels, 2781. It's at 27 point something or other megahertz. It's what they call Muppets. You got Muppets and mids. But this was a pre-mids thing, and one or two people will know what I'm talking about. My friend Mark will know what I'm talking about. It's got just the 40 channel Muppets on it, and anyway, the LED readout, one of the little LEDs that make up the numbers is conked out on the far, it's the far right digit. So channel 18 and 19 look like exactly the same thing, and I found myself sitting there on the 18 calling, you know, 19 for a copy, anyone on the 19 at all, hello, you know, and eventually I found out I was on 18, but one of the LEDs was dead. It wouldn't have made any difference because there was no one on the 19 either. It is completely dead around here now. I suspect there are some truck drivers who still use it. Maybe if I was a little bit nearer the M1. I mean, I'm about 10 miles away, and the range of that thing, well, transmit range is about 3 miles on a good day. Receive is about 7 or 8 miles on a good day. So, yeah, I can't even pick up the motorway from here. But I see home base aerials around Worksop, but on the occasions that I've turned the thing on, there's been nothing. I know there are probably half a dozen people in Milton Keynes who still use the thing. At least one of them is certainly someone I don't ever wish to speak to again. Just yeah, it died, and it's a damn shame because the internet as a communication tool is fantastic. You know, you can speak to people all over the world who never ever pre-internet would have had any opportunity to communicate with. You wouldn't even known they existed. and for that it's fantastic. What it isn't good for, and what was great about CB radio, was meeting local people, making friends who were local to you. You could, and I did this a lot over the years. I spoke to hundreds of people who were in a 10-mile radius, 15-mile radius, something like that, and you could be sitting there chatting to them in the middle of the night or the middle of the day or whenever, and them or you say, "So, want to come over for a cup of coffee?" And I did this loads of times. I would just go, well, I mean, when I had a motorbike, I was living in a little village called Deansanger, and I would hop on my motorbike and ride out into the sticks and have a cup of coffee and a chat with whoever it was. And, you know, they could be 15, 20 miles away. They could be just around the corner. You don't get that with the internet, and it's a shame. I don't know, I mean, if they... Local audio chat room type facility thing, I wonder what would happen. Would it work, or would it just be full of twats? Because you did get that on the CB. And what you didn't have on the CB was the ability to block a twat. You could squelch them out, which meant anyone with a signal weaker than the strength you set your controls at would be blocked out, and you just didn't hear anything below that signal strength. But that was no good. If you were talking to someone who was 15 miles away, and then someone 5 miles away or 100 yards away or whatever decided they were just going to cut all over the top and play music, and they would follow you all around the 40 channels, and you could do nothing about it. Now with the internet you can block people. So I wonder, you know, a local audio chat room thing on the internet would be good. They sort of did something like that on... does Yahoo Chat still exist? I used to go on Yahoo Chat. There was like the website, the web-based version, and then they also built it into Yahoo Messenger. And for a year or two, I used that a lot, and it worked on dial-up. You know, you'd be in a room full of loads of people on dial-up, and I chatted to a lot of people, but local on that meant in the UK or in London. I tried setting up a room for people in Milton Keynes and nothing. This was like in '99. There were still... there were a lot of people on the internet, but there were an awful lot more who weren't on the internet. I don't know, such a thing might be more successful now. Or maybe such a thing even exists, I don't know. Is there a workshop audio chat room? But I mean, I don't care anymore. Back then, I needed or wanted the company. I wanted to meet people. Now, I ain't got time for meeting people. I have a life, I am married, and I don't want to go meeting strange people or whatnot, because I don't have a need to. But back then, yeah. God, that guy's still singing. 37 miles. I wonder actually, is that how many miles I've travelled, or is that how many minutes I've been playing? I've got no idea how long I've been playing. I'm going for another swig of beer. Oh. Come on, stay on the road, stay on the road. Okay, back on the accelerator. I wonder, how long can I keep going? I don't have to worry about flattening the battery on my camera. I've got it plugged into the charger, which is good. It's something that wasn't so easy to do while I was playing in the other room, but I'm in the new wow, that was a bit high pitched. Whoops. I'm in the new little games room now, and I've got more sockets at an accessible distance from the TV and where I'm sitting and stuff. Why am I driving on the left? I'm English, but I, in this game, don't care which side I drive on. Yeah. I'll tell you what would be amusing in this is pedestrians. Just some random pedestrian, like, I don't know, their car's broken down and they're staggering through the desert with a 3/4 empty bottle of water and they're afraid they're going to die, and then you run them over. I would like that. Some little random events would be good. I don't know, animals maybe. We want some roadkill. I don't know what the rules are on roadkill in America, but in the UK, if you run over an animal, you cannot pick it up. You've got to leave it there. But the next car along, they're allowed to stop and pick it up and take it home and eat it. I suppose that's to stop people deliberately running animals over. I find that kind of interesting. I wonder how many people drive around in pairs, you know, looking for animals to run over to cook. It's hard times. We've got a Tory government. Everyone's unemployed. People got to eat. Go out driving, never mind the cost of the petrol. Run over some rabbits or some deer. God, I was in a taxi once, again in Milton Keynes, and he nearly ran over a deer. It was a big bastard animal. And he was doing 60 miles an hour, and it was trotting down the road. It was near Woodhill Prison. And there was wood on the left and the prison on the right and the deer in the middle. And he slammed the anchors on. I mean, they tell you, if an animal runs out in front of your car, don't stop, don't brake. You're more likely to cause an accident. You just got to grin and bear it and kill it. Well, this deer, I think if it had hit the deer, it would have probably done us more harm than the deer. It was a big bastard. Needless to say, he stopped. No roadkill that night. Roadkill venison. I've had venison. I've got these, they are microwave meal things. They're in a sachet. They're not frozen. They're heat treated and everything, and they'll last for donkey's years. They're kind of like a ration pack, but they would be expensive. I think they would be something like £2.50 for the sachet, but they were flogging them off cheap. I guess people just weren't buying them. You think microwave meal, cheap rubbish. Well, I'm telling you, these are not cheap. It's venison stew, and it is really. There were a load of other varieties as well, which I've eaten them all because they're really, really nice. Big-hearted Betties. Yeah, so this venison, wow, it is rich. I've got about 3 sachets left. I've only eaten one of those because though it was it really nice? I don't know. It was really interesting. It was. If I were to compare it to anything, actually, it would be duck. It was kind of like beef crossed with duck. Very odd. Or no, more like lamb crossed with duck. Yeah, kind of earthy. I've heard them describe things as gamey, and well, I suppose deer is game, and yeah, it was kind of certainly something about it. Wow. And if just like one little sachet of that gave me indigestion for several hours, I hate to think, you know, roadkill deer, whopping great big, I don't know what kind of deer it was. Venison steak, my God, that would, well, I'd probably throw up. It's like salmon. I love the taste of salmon, but it's so rich. I can only eat the tiniest little amount of it before I'm feeling really quite ill. Damn shame. I like that, food. Anything, if it's oily, fatty, or just rich in general, I can't eat it without suffering afterwards. So I eat a lot of junk. A lot of chicken. I eat a lot of chicken. Chicken curry, all kinds of different chicken curry, and Chinese, and you name it. If it's got chicken in it, I'll eat it. Though I don't really care for barbecue chicken. I like my chicken cooked, not burned. char grilled anything actually I don't really like. There's this restaurant it's in Sheffield, and I can't remember what one it is. Whenever I go there, so I look at the menu, and it's like char grilled this and char grilled that and all kinds of crap that I don't want, and I end up having the char grilled chicken because it's the least offensive of the bunch, and it's just so it just tastes burnt and I don't like it. Beer time. It's beer o'clock. IPA, Indian Pale Ale. I did know why it's called that. What is it? What's the India thing about it? Was it that we sold it in India? I don't think it was made in India, and it isn't an Indian recipe. I think it was was it the East India Company or whatever? Did we ship it over there and sell it in India? That was it. It would keep. That was it. It would keep on the journey from England to India. It was kind of like a long life beer, something to do with the brewing process, if I remember rightly. I have. Oh, it was that geezer who's kind of a comedian or whatnot, but he was doing a thing on the Industrial Revolution, and he was doing a bit on the brewing of IPA. I think, I might be wrong, I might be remembering it completely wrong, but whatever. And that's all I have to say about that. Come on, move it over there. Yeah. What is that little thing meant to be? The jiggly thing on the left. I mean, obviously it's a person. Is that a grass skirt? Is it a woman? And what's she holding? Is it a musical instrument? I mean, she's having a fit. What's God? You would... I don't know. Well, unless she's dancing to this guy singing. In that case, she's been on some serious drugs. What's this say? What? Fruit gets revenge, did that say? Did it say fruit? I don't know. I wonder, can I run over a cactus? If I run off the road that far and hit a cactus, do you think I can do that before I get a puncture? I'll need one that's really close. This one's near enough. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yep. Oh, that was disappointing. Oh, shit. I think I broke my truck. We're still going. We're not going. 48 miles. I think I got a puncture. Absolutely bloody awesome. That is Desert Truck. 67 pence or something on the Android store. I completely recommend it if you've got time to waste. If you're looking for a meaningful game with deep gameplay, maybe not, eh? And why are speed signs in America made with Dexian racking? I've seen that. I mean, I suppose actually if you knock it over it'll do less damage, but damn, cheap shit. Okay, going now. Thank you for watching.